Are you a therapist who sees clients who might be struggling with their body image? Or maybe you have clients who yo-yo diet or switch from keto one week to paleo the next week, but still ultimately feel unhappy in the relationship with food. Or maybe you have clients who are over-exercising or get incredibly anxious if they miss a workout. Maybe you have clients who are starting to try Ozempic or other weight loss drugs. Maybe you work with young women who are grappling with the bombardment of unrealistic body expectations on social media. The reality is that nowadays, Gen Z has become increasingly susceptible to distorted body image, with approximately 50% of women reporting being dissatisfied with their bodies. Additionally, eating disorders are on the rise, with the prevalence increasing from 3.5% from 2000 to 2006 to 7.8% from 2013 to 2018. Maybe you already specialize in working with eating disorders, but you feel constrained by methodologies like CBT or DBT, which are great for short-term symptom relief, but ultimately they might fall short when it comes to deeper exploration with clients and doing long-term work. Everyone eats, so everyone has a relationship with food. Exploring this relationship can help you understand deeper dynamics that show up elsewhere in your clients' lives. In turn, transforming these dynamics can help your clients have a better relationship with food, their bodies, and themselves. I'm Vanessa Scaringi. I'm a licensed psychologist and certified eating disorder specialist.
And I'm Kathryn Garland, licensed clinical social worker and certified eating disorder specialist. Vanessa and I co-own a group practice with 10 therapists who specifically work with these issues that we've trained personally. We've also trained therapists locally and internationally to work with disordered eating and use attachment skills and styles in order to understand their relationship with food and their bodies, which really allows for them to go beyond symptom relief and transform the relational patterns that really lead clients to the use of food behaviors as a coping mechanism. And it's often been said that when you're working purely with symptom relief, it's like cutting the eating disorder off at the stem. It really has the ability to grow back and quickly. But doing that deeper roots work and pulling up to understand the underlying issues that really contribute to the disordered eating is much more effective in the long term.
I'd like to tell you a story about a client who, for this purpose, we'll call Christina. We've all had clients who have tried everything and nothing's worked. It puts a lot of pressure on us as therapists. Will I be the one that finally helps this person make a breakthrough? Or will I be another crossed out name on their list of things they've tried that didn't help and ultimately leaves them stranded in the same place they've been? When Christina first walked into my office, she was struggling with bulimia, purging, and binging almost daily. Christina had tried everything to lose weight and conform to society's beauty standards. Ultimately, she developed a severe eating disorder, and it got in the way of her relationships. She started missing events. She was so focused on the guilt that consumed her when she was with other people, she couldn't even sit down for dinner with friends. Ultimately, that's what landed Christina in therapy. She didn't want to keep living her life by avoiding social circumstances that had food involved. She was sick of Jenny Craig. She was sick of the yo-yo dieting. She knew all of that was severely interfering in her ability to stay present with the friends or partners that she had. As I started to work with Christina on understanding the connection between attachment wounds and eating, it became really clear that Christina would get activated in a relationship where she might feel like her partner's leaning out and all of a sudden feel the threat of being abandoned, and she would lean on food as a way to cope with that. And the more we started to connect these dots, the better equipped Christina has become at slowing herself down and understanding that she could ask people in her life for those needs to get met, and she doesn't have to lean on food any longer. What's been so remarkable about the work with Christina is that she has now really created more pathways to security in her life. And as Christina has changed the way she relates to herself and other people, she's had less of a need to manage her stress about relationships or her attachment issues through eating. She's gone from binging and purging multiple times a week to doing so once only every 6 to 8 months. Christina's story and so many others have shown me that if we don't use an understanding of attachment to put disordered eating into the larger context of the client's life, we might get stuck as clinicians. If we don't really try to tackle what's going on at the root, then our clients might end up getting stuck in another kind of behavior. Perhaps they no longer binge or purge, but maybe they use alcohol to numb out, or they doom scroll on their phone for hours on end. We have to really help clients understand what it is that they're trying to fill when they're using these behaviors so that they can sustain themselves in feeling more security in their relationships.
In Christina's case, with a more anxious attachment style, it led her to feel a deep sense of clinginess, neediness, and dependency. And instead of being able to rely on people in her life to provide this, she looked to food and eating behaviors. This can play out in the different types of attachment styles that people often have. Sometimes people with a more avoidant attachment style might actually conversely use different methods of soothing themselves or numbing out. They may actually feel more self-reliance and greater distance from people helps them to feel more secure, and in turn restrict food to try to prevent the feeling of having needs or wanting others to be close to them. And the third insecure attachment style, fearful avoidant, or sometimes referred to as disorganized attachment style, can be sort of a cycling between wanting desperately to have your needs met, but not being able to trust the source of getting those needs met. And with food, this might play out with a lot of doing and undoing. That might look like wanting and needing to take in food and immediately wanting to find ways to rid ourselves of food. Those behaviors might look like binging and purging, or chewing and spitting, or even binging and over-exercising. Any behavior set that cycles between taking in a need and then immediately wanting to rid ourselves of that and not feeling deserving. Maybe you're extremely well-versed in attachment theory. You know all the attachment styles and how they impact our relationships with people around us, especially one's partner. But our relationship and our attachment style with food behaviors and our bodies is quite unique. There is a societal element in addition to our family of origin that's deeply impacting our relationship with food. This we might describe as our sociocultural attachment style. This is a concept that really implements the idea that weight stigma and some of the difficulties of navigating a world with discrimination and fat phobia really enhance and complicate our relationship with food and our bodies. These larger systemic and cultural issues really make this work particularly difficult and complex.
That's why we really wanted to use all of our experience as clinicians to create a course so that we could help slow this down and really understand how society impacts us, how our attachment styles impact us, and how ultimately all of this plays out with food. If you're feeling activated in a relationship, you can slow down and try to repair your attachment wound. You can abstain from that relationship. You cannot abstain from your relationship with food.
In many cases, it can be life or death, or at the very least, the difference between living a very disconnected existence versus living more authentically, relationally, and securely. If you want to help your clients improve their relationship with food as part of improving their relationships with themselves, whether you work with eating disorders as a specialization or not, we invite you to join us for a course we've created with the Academy of Therapy Wisdom.
Let me tell you a little bit more about our course, Hungry for Security: Healing Disordered Eating Through an Attachment Lens. It's divided up into 5 modules of video training with us. In Module 1, we put your client's relationship with food into a larger context. We understand social media, big pharma, diet culture, so many of the other forces that are influencing how we relate to food in our bodies. Our clients are swimming in this sea, and the more we understand, the better we can help these clients sort through these messages to find their own authentic, intuitive relationship to food.
In Module 2, we go deeper into the relationship between attachment and disordered eating. If you're already an attachment therapist, this allows you to work with disordered eating using familiar tools. And if you're an eating disorder specialist, it really allows you to branch out from other modalities to work on the deeper dynamics that clients are using food to cope with. Module 3 will take us through what we call artificial attachments versus more authentic ways of being attached. We'll go through the ways in which hyperactivation of our attachment regulation system can lead to the use of certain food behaviors, whereas a deactivation of the attachment system can lead to other behaviors with food.
In Module 4, we give you practical interventions that you can apply with your clients who suffer from disordered eating, and we pull these interventions from our attachment lens. In Module 5, we share new paradigms that have been emerging to understand how we relate to food. We discuss concepts like body positivity, health at every size, weight stigma, harm reduction, and food noise. You may already be familiar with these concepts, or some of them may be new to you. Ultimately, clients have a hard time digesting some of this material, so our course is designed to help you as a clinician to share this information with your clients in a way that can be useful to them. We want to help you free your clients from the damaging assumptions that are making it harder for them to access the innate wisdom of their bodies when it comes to eating, which is, after all, a primal human function that our bodies understand deeply, if only we learn to listen.
There's a massive food industry spending billions trying to get people to buy and eat more food, regardless of how it affects their health. There's also a massive diet industry trying to convince you that people need to eat in specific ways to be loved and accepted. In the middle, there are your clients, trying to feel good about themselves and accepted by others. If you're ready to help all of your clients develop a better relationship with food, their bodies, and the other people in their lives, please click the button below to sign up for this course.
You may be thinking, I don't even work with eating disorders. I refer out for that. Our response to this is, yes, you do work with disordered eating. According to a 2017 study, 42% of adults globally were trying to lose weight. This course will give you permission to ask questions about food and exercise with all your clients, and then know how to explore, decode, and respond to your clients' answers. If your clients are dieting and you're not asking them about that, you're overlooking something that could be really damaging to them. If you discover they meet criteria for an eating disorder, you still may refer out, but maybe after this course you won't want to. Maybe you'll continue the work that you're already doing with your clients because you have a good relationship, but you'll feel sturdier in your ability to treat them in managing something that is pervasive for so many people.
Or perhaps you already specialize in disordered eating. You're already on board with body positivity and health at every size, but you're wondering whether this course has anything new to offer you. We've taught many clinicians who specialize in eating disorder treatment, and they've told us that our attachment-based approach helps them create more lasting changes for their clients than their previous training allows. It provides an opportunity for them to do the rewarding long-term work of deep transformation rather than just rescuing their clients with an acute crisis. Or maybe you're deeply invested in another specific therapy model and you want to continue using that framework. Luckily, attachment is a root scientific theory that informs many of our current models of therapy, including EFFT, IFS, family therapy, EMDR, CBT, DBT, and somatic therapies.
And lastly, maybe you're thinking, this all sounds great, but I'm not sure I can fit it in. I'm so busy with clients and other trainings, I don't know how to make the time. This course is broken into small, digestible chunks. Each of the videos is also available as a downloadable audio and transcript. You can download the audio and listen to it on your commute or while you're doing housework, so you don't have to take any time away from your family or clients. You can print out the transcripts to read and take notes on, maybe with some coffee and a comfy chair. You can find a way to engage with the material that works for you and your schedule and your own learning style. So please click the button below to learn more about the course.
At its best, food is really a semiconductor for connection. Think of your best memory of sharing food with people who you love. Having relationships with food, our bodies, and people in balance is an antidote to a highly stressed world and a foundation for creating greater transformation in our cultures and societies. Imagine a world in which we all slow down and listen deeply to our own bodies, in which we savor each bite of food and each moment of our lives together. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Please join us for our course, Hungry for Security, Healing Disordered Eating Through an Attachment Lens.